Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Delta Green tabletop role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, military organizations, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living, dead, or redacted, is completely coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your handler this evening, Michael Diamond, and we are back with our Adventures in O-Cell series. We are back in Red Hook, New York for some fun. And at the top of the show, as I like to do, I like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. So if you hadn't had a chance to check out what we offer on Patreon, you can. And that's patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. Jump over to YouTube, subscribe to us there. And in the comment section of this episode, if you say hello to me and to the cast, I might send something fancy your way. And now, with that out of the way, we'll get to our introductions proper. To my right.
Hey, this is Miranda, and I play Dr. Aaron Weber. And you know what? I think I'm that kind of doctor now, too.
Certainly, after the last episode, you 100% are that kind of doctor, even if you don't have the degree. To Dr. Weber's right.
Hello, I'm your friend Nate Hughes, and I'm playing Elliot Winters. We're all back together. We got a meeting with maybe Marcus. I've still got a little supernatural amniotic fluid in my hair. Handler, you promised fun.
How is this not fun at the end of the table?
Hi, I'm Allie. I am Special Agent Joanne Hart, and I was birthed from a piece of wood, and now I'm in a shower hoping that I feel reborn.
Yeah, I think there are types of showers that we could talk about you taking that are sort of like that. I don't think we'll talk about them here in the introduction, but you know what I mean. Normally last, but certainly not least, but we'll just say to the right of Agent Hart.
Hi, my name is Tegan, and I'm playing Brett Youngbuck Hawking. And it's just me, I guess, soon in this room with the wood. Just me in the wood.
Just you in the wood. I'm sure everything will be totally fine now that your fellow agents have wandered off to a meeting. And appearing as a special guest for the first time on the show, guest, tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Bucho. You can find me on the Symphony Discord server, and I am playing a special guest tonight.
Indeed you are. Okay, so when we last left our agents in a seedy motel room in Red Hook, New York, they had made a series of choices. We won't spoil those choices for our guest because we'd like to give him sort of the full frontal assault of meeting O-Cell immediately. And so we'll transition to a car scene. So we're traveling not but maybe 3 or 4 blocks from the hotel. And we do so. We go to a gas station. This is not your normal Midwestern gas station by any means. This is a New York gas station, so it's sort of pressed in between a couple of big buildings. There is what looks like rundown garage attached to it. The pumps here are charging way too much for gas. And the agents arrive therein. Who's driving, by the way, Weber or Winters?
I'd imagine Winters since he had the contact.
I'm driving.
Okay. You arrive at a gas station. It looks a little, I don't know, lost. It doesn't fit in here amongst the buildings here. It's fairly close to the water, but at the same time, all the concrete here is cracked from probably 10 or 15 years ago. It's almost like time forgot this gas station. One of the pumps has a price on it that can't possibly be right. Cigarettes here only cost $2.50 a pack, which you know isn't the current price. Seemingly, there's a dim light on the inside.
I'm going to pull up around the side. I'm not going to pull up to the pump. To the side, hopefully if there's an air thing, I'm just going to pull up next to that. Park. Look around and say, Weber, Hart. Now, it sounded like Marcus up on the phone when I talked to him, but it's been years. I ain't talked to Marcus for years yet. I don't know if either you talked to him at all?
Absolutely not. No.
No. I was under the impression we weren't ever gonna hear from him again based on the fact that the first time that we all like met, we all had weird fucking shit that happened before that. We all had the same person and then we never heard from that person again. So why would we be hearing from Marcus again? That doesn't make any sense.
That's a good point, Hart. But it'll be nice if it's Marcus, it'll be good to a familiar face, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really have fond memories of him. I ain't gonna invite him out to holiday dinner, if you know what I mean. But just look smart. Until we confirm, let's not assume anything about this boy. I'm gonna get out.
Weber gets out too.
So, as mentioned before, the American Quick Start and gas in front of you lacks a whole lot of, we'll just say, exterior lighting. It looks like it's been hit with graffiti 4 or 5 times, and the owners here just don't care. And sometimes in New York, that's just the best policy. Because once it's tagged, as long as it's not too egregious, and hopefully not gang-related, if you just leave it, nobody will bother you afterwards. But a single amber light inside the gas station swings back and forth. You can see the light move just left and right a little bit.
You'll try the front door and see if it's open.
I guess I'll ask, you keep the front door open?
Front door's open.
Front door is open.
Open the front door. I would imagine there's a bell that goes off, Mike, when you open the front door.
Absolutely.
Hello? How are you?
Fine. Now, this doesn't look like Marcus, right? I'm just clarifying. I figured it didn't.
Nope, not at all. This person, I'll let them give us a rough physical description.
So behind the counter, you can tell that he's a tall, gaunt man. He's kind of bent over the counter, very relaxed on his elbows. There's a long strip of jerky in his mouth. He's kind of sucking on like a straw. He's got a friendly face, little wizened from the years. He's got like a 2-day-old growth of beard, salt and pepper colored. He is wearing flat gray Dickie slacks. There is a red kerchief. It's kind of oil stain that hangs out of the back pocket that you can see a little bit of. And he's got a matching button-up shirt. And on the left breast pocket, there's a patch for the gas station that just says boss on it.
Hey there, boss. We were looking for someone here. I'm Dr. Aaron Weber. This is...
So I'm with the young lady here, and I'm here to also meet someone here. And I will elbow Weber, not gently, in the side.
Well, it's a bit of a strange place to meet people, you know, this being a gas station. Are you looking for somebody specific?
I couldn't agree with you more. This is a very strange place to meet a person. But this is where they let us to, the American Quick Start and Gas. Fine American establishment.
Well, we have been here for many years. We're well renowned for our jerky. Believe it or not. I know the exterior doesn't look like it, but we keep it pretty stocked, so.
Now you look, Winters, there is an awful lot of beef jerky here. Like, the selection is maybe 2 or 3 times what you'd expect at a gas station this size. And it isn't corporate stuff either.
I'm sorry, did you call me son?
It's just a term of endearment. Don't worry. Son, ma'am, it's just where I was raised. It's just what I was. Surely your name's not boss. My name's Adam, and I'll hold my hand out.
Nice to meet you, Adam. I'm the boss. I own this establishment. My name's Reggie. We've been here for a number of years. Kind of just me. And boss is just a funny thing for me because I'm the only one here. So.
Yeah, good to meet you, Reggie. Is this your jerky? You make this? This looks like home stuff.
We get a lot of venison from upstate. from some specialized butchers. I do try to play with the recipes. I get a lot of people from, up and down the East Coast who come in just for the jerky. Gas, cigarettes, those aren't really things they're looking for, but yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So this is deer jerky from upstate New York. This is local stuff. This is legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie, can you set me up with a pound or two? Give me like a couple, your favorite three. What's your top three flavors? Whatever they are, just put them in a bag for me. This stuff looks delicious.
Okay. So I'll start bagging up a few different types of jerky. I'll come around the counter. I will bag up a little bit of jalapeno honey. I will bag up what is probably closest to teriyaki, but is not quite teriyaki. I haven't really nailed the flavor of it yet, but it's still pretty good. And then here's a poblano and cherry jerky. I don't know if you're into spices, but I think that you might enjoy it. Peppers aren't for everybody, so.
Damn. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Reggie. I'm wondering, though, we are looking for a friend of ours. Has anyone been in tonight? Are you expecting anyone, maybe?
It's been pretty quiet all day. I'm not expecting anybody. No. I mean, it's been a pretty normal day for me. I mean, maybe they've come in before you got here, but I haven't seen a lot of people come through today. So do you know what they look like?
I'm going to look to Agent Hart. I'm going to look to Dr. Aaron Weber. I'm going to take a big old chunk of venison jerky. I'm going to stick it in my mouth and start chewing.
Oh, I'm so glad you're trusting Dr. Aaron Weber to speak now. No, well, this guy talked to them on the phone, and he's a gentleman that we've all met before. He goes by the name, and I say it kind of slow in case Winters is going to elbow me again, and I kind of lean out. Marcus, I think.
I do close my eyes and stop chewing for 1 second, and then I let out a breath and then just keep chewing.
Because talking about beef jerky has worked really well so far is what Dr. Weber thinks in her head, but doesn't say out loud. You got us real far.
We're just biding time is what goes through Elliot's head. We're just biding time until Marcus shows up. We don't need to tell this yokel all the names is what I'm thinking in my head.
Are there any cameras in this place? I want to look around as I'm having this very slow, labored conversation. I want to look around. Do we see cameras in this place? Do we see anything that looks like this is a front for a government operation?
I think there likely isn't cameras, probably on the shop floor. There's probably one camera like behind the counter, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy to let Reggie riff on how it's his place, not mine.
Heavy locked doors, maybe? Yeah.
No heavy locked doors. So the outdoors is definitely far more worn down and run down. The inside is kept up clean. I mean, it's not perfect. There's still that old ass, nasty school tile all over the floor. But the windows to the refrigerators are clean. You might think that the building feels bigger than it actually is when you walk inside.
If I look, I'm remembering being outside, there could be restrooms on the outside, so that could take up some space. How much smaller does it seem inside than outside?
I would say like a small room.
Okay. It could be a bathroom. Office.
I've known a few Marcuses.
Mm-hmm.
Could you describe the Marcus?
Yes, I can, because I have a photographic memory. Marcus has glasses. So he definitely wears glasses, and they're kind of squarish from what I remember. And he had darker hair. And unless he was kind of, beardy, maybe like a couple days. But otherwise, he just looks really generic. And he's about this tall.
Handler, I know that I've met a Marcus in the past. Have our interactions been frequent since the first meeting?
You probably have had a couple of interactions over the years. You've had to help assist Marcus, we'll just say process some things
Okay.
that have happened in the New York area. But I would say that your visits with him have probably been every 12 to 18 months. And he's not frequent at all, and there's no schedule to it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I do know this Marcus that you speak of. Maybe.
Okay. Does he come here often? Because he said he'd meet us here.
Often, no. I definitely haven't seen him today.
Well, that's fine. You might see him soon.
Sounds mildly threatening, but okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that, like, if we're meeting him here and you're here, then you'll see him because we'll see him.
That makes more sense, yeah. I don't have a problem. Sorry, what were your names again? And he pulls out this little notepad and he starts taking notes.
I'm going to check my watch, handler. Has it been 2 hours?
It has not. It's been close to 2 hours, but you're not there yet.
Reggie, my name is Adam. Of course, I just bought 3 pounds of your finest jerky.
And like I said before, I'm Dr. Olivia Dartford.
So I want to ask, if I can, Agent Hart, what are you doing during this entire exchange between the three of them?
Chances are very good that I'm actually just like holding the door open and I'm leaned against it. Only kind of half listening, but I'm also keeping the door open for knowing if someone's coming or going, because I don't know if this place is going to have security cameras. I don't know. This place looks a little sketchy. I want to kind of keep an eye out for what might be coming or going.
There's nothing here but high gas prices and cheap jerky.
Yeah, for now anyway.
You're almost there, Agent Winters. It's just about 2 hours.
I'm going to leave and just stand right outside. I'm going to sort of squeeze past Agent Hart. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm going to just stand right outside the door on the sidewalk and just looking left, right.
Okay. For you, Reggie, these folks seem a little strange.
I mean, I've seen Stranger. It is New York City.
Yeah.
Pretty tame, but they don't feel like they're from around here.
Nope. Definitely not. You hear a tone behind the counter.
Hmm.
Do I also hear a tone behind the counter?
You do not.
No.
I check on the tone.
You go back behind there, and on one of the sort of grainy CCT cameras, you keep like a 4-box of cameras. One only visually that people see, and the others are sort of, we'll just say sporadically around the building for security purposes, of course. And in a portion of the gas station that really only you and very, very few people else would know, you see a wall slide to the side, and a man you see every 12 to 18 months steps through it. He resecures the door and then begins heading towards the front of the convenience store.
I see. Well, Doctor, I think your Marcus has shown up.
Is it, in fact, my Marcus that I see?
You don't see anybody just yet. He just spoke it into a room that's empty, and Hart's by the door there, and no one else has come in.
Oh, great. Oh, did you see him? Are they outside? And I just kind of start to look out to where Winters is.
He's on his way. Yeah.
Oh, does he have like a really large car and you can like, hear it coming? I mean, my dad had like the loudest car as a kid, and I could always hear it coming like blocks away. So he must have really.
You get to know the sounds of the shop. You get to know, the sounds of different automobiles everywhere. It's after so many years.
Weber, the freezer door opens to where they keep the Coors Light at, and a guy in a suit and a trench coat walks out.
Is it Marcus?
Yep.
I feel like I'm asking this question a lot. Hi.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
I kind of walk over to the door. Winters, Hart, he's inside already.
I'm gonna like swing my head over because I've been looking outside. Like, what do you mean? We would have. Oh, okay.
I'll take one last look left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Any cars showed up? Any people?
Nope.
I'll turn back, look at Hart,
I guess he's here.
boy was in his side the whole time.
He's in the cooler, came out of the walk-in cooler.
Oh my good lord, this is some get smart bullshit, isn't it?
Reggie comes around the counter and he comes to the front door and he's like, how many of you guys are there?
Well, you see 3.
Yeah, just us. Just us. How many folks you got hiding in your freezer is the more interesting question.
Well, Reggie starts to shut the door. He flips the sign. He starts to lock it. And he's like, well, it's not often. Typically, it's just Marcus. Now I guess it's you guys as well. So if you want to follow me. So Reggie walks to the back towards the cooler. And as you guys walk into the cooler, if you follow, he's been building this for a couple years now where there is kind of a illusionary thing that looks like stock has been stacked up against the wall. It's very light, and so it moves. And behind that is a room that is buffered from the rest of the store. And so there's a couch in there, there's a small table, there's a desk. It's a weird place to put it, but his reasoning is if anybody ever finds it, that's his place to relax on break.
It's a nice little hidey hole. I like it. It's cozy.
It's very cozy. Very cozy. Come up with a few recipes back here.
Oh, I bet you do. I bet you do. Is Marcus here?
Yeah, he's here. He's standing like in the door, in the passageway.
I'm giving them the eye. Does he look like he also has aged 2 hard years since we've seen him?
I don't know about hard years, but he's aged a little. Reggie, you want to put on some coffee?
Yeah, no problem. Anybody want anything else? Snacks, coffee?
No, coffee would be great though. Thank you.
Sure. And so I'll go make some coffee.
Okay. Marcus steps into this small space, puts his back sort of against the wall and waits for people to file in.
I'll do so.
I think we're all in the room at this point. We're close to it.
No, he doesn't shut the door. And so when Reggie does come back with beverage items, Marcus sort of just gestures you inside. Okay, let me clear up a couple of things. I would say, under many circumstances, although not these ones, it's nice to see all of you after a couple of years. Pleasantries aside, we have a fucking problem. And the 3 of you are supposed to be fixing problems, not making problems, right? Which one of you thought it was a bright idea to call 911?
Oh, that was all of us. That was all of us, Marcus.
Yeah, there was a man dying. We were just trying to get him help.
And that's not how it's going to work with us, Marcus. We ain't going to pick and choose and separate. And no, you want us to work as a team. We're going to work as a team here. So that was all of us. You want to fire us right now, Marcus? Go ahead. Feel free to fire us. You know what kind of shit we've been through? Do you know what we've seen over there? Jesus Christ.
First of all, nobody gets fired from this job. That's not the way this job works.
Exactly.
I just need you to reconcile what a 911 call does for us. It means I got to scramble. It means I got to scrub things. It means I got to figure how to keep you under wraps from the FBI waltzing in and wanting to put its nose all over the place. Local PD would love to be swarming that place. You have any idea how much oomph it takes to get a shift of the NYPD pulled off a crime scene? It takes a lot. So whatever the problem at the Garrettson Mansion is, whatever source you found, and I'm certain that you'll explain it to me, it has to be dealt with, right? So what happened?
A lot happened.
Lot's doing a lot of lifting in that sentence.
So there's some shit going down at that house, and we don't really know what's up. We found that guy, obviously critically wounded, and some shit really went down. I don't know. We all got really disoriented. The reason why we called you, though, is because Hawking's hurt. Well, he's fine now because I bandaged him up, but he's pretty fucking hurt, and Hart got lost in a wall, and then Winters pulled her back out of the wall, all covered in, I don't know, amniotic fluid or something. The house was ate her, and then we brought her back out of the fucking house. And Hawking got chewed up in the walls by, I don't know, demon raccoons that maybe were also coming out of the walls.
A lot's happened.
I'm going to take a little bit of a side eye at Reggie and see how Reggie's taking all this in.
That's a good question, Reg.
Reggie's just sitting on the side of the desk. Like, he knows this is not his business, but it is his business. And so he's just listening. But he holds out a package of jerky to Marcus.
He takes a piece. Not a long piece, but like a real thick piece.
And then Reggie goes back to just sitting on the desk listening and waiting.
I had the benefit of making a contact here with Reggie. The gas station here is super helpful in a lot of different ways. I helped him out, and now he helps me out. That's sort of the way our relationship works.
Well, could he help us find a bunch of missing kids that are maybe in a basement that doesn't exist?
No, but he might be able to help you process some things if something has to be carted out of that place. You said something about raccoons?
Yeah, lots of them. Weird ones crawling on the ceiling, leaving little, I don't know, bloody footprints all over the place, living in the walls, tearing up Hawking. I mean, I managed to just sew him up with a sewing kit and some fishing line, but it's not going to be pretty.
Let's be clear. They ain't raccoons. That's what we call them because we have no better name. These are some creatures with some nasty ass claws that speak to you. They mimic. They talk in different voices.
They prey on something you love in your mind.
Yeah, they are evil things. But not having any better name, because that's a whole mouthful of words. We call them raccoons.
Okay, but could we maybe not bring any of those here?
I appreciate that, and I agree with you, sir.
That sounds terrifying.
They are terrible things. Where they come from? Hawking has a theory, and it is a terrible theory, and I'm going to share that theory. Reggie, I'm sorry. I mean, you might want to avert your close up your ears on this, but or not, or whatever. We're here looking for missing children. The children we think are being stolen by these raccoon things. They're being dragged through tunnels and small openings underneath the streets of Red Hook. Hawking has a theory, though, that these raccoons are actually these kids what's been transformed in some way through some horrible, nasty awfulness. Marcus, please, I mean, we ain't friends, but at least we work together. We're colleagues, we're co-workers. You know anything about these goddamn things or anything to point us? Because we got kids missing. We're trying to find these kids, and we think there is something to do and happening up with the solstice and this eclipse that's coming up in a few days.
Okay. I don't know anything about any monstrous raccoons, but I do want to dive back into something that you mentioned. You said that you had to pull Hart out of something. Where did you go, Hart?
I don't know. I fell into a piece of wood. I guess it has a weird symbol on it. And I don't know if I blacked out or passed out or if it happened so fast that it didn't register properly.
Fell into? Like collided with?
No, like it was a hole.
Like a portal?
I guess.
Okay. Where is this at?
It's back at the hotel we're treating as a safe house. It's Adam taped it to one of the closet doors to prevent anything that might come out of it after me.
It's been left by itself?
Hawking's with it.
You see Marcus just kind of slightly tilt his head. So what you're telling me is that you decided to leave something unnatural with a single agent while you all came here. How much do you trust Agent Hawking?
I assume that we are able to trust Agent Hawking as much as any individual one of us is able to be trusted. If we can't trust each other, then there's not much of a point in us doing this absolutely batshit crazy job together.
Hawkins saved our lives, Marcus. Marcus, I trust Hawkins more than I trust you. And I don't mistrust you, if that makes any sense. Without Hawking, we would have not come back from the other place that we were at. And I'll glance at Reggie. Hawking is the reason we're here. I don't have any reason to mistrust Hawking. Hawking almost died. Also, don't you worry, Marcus. I used duct tape to secure that thing. Shoot. Ain't nothing coming through that.
Okay.
But Marcus, there's a tunnel inside. It was like the walls were made out of rock or concrete, and the floor, the ground was ground full rocks that I landed on. And I had a flashlight, and it was darker than anything I've ever experienced before. But I could trace along the wall, and there was a curve, and it continued down. I didn't go down. I got out instead.
But you could have.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll ask you just one last question, because I think it'll probably be all that's necessary. You have two choices as far as I see it. You go back to the hotel room, you secure the piece of unnatural, and you find a way to destroy it. That is one path that exists here. Or if you're fully committed to figuring out what happened to those children, and if that matters more to you than what could happen if you're inside that portal, you arm up and you go inside and you figure out where the source of this thing is. And you put it down. Luckily, should you choose a path like that, Reggie here has a few tools he might be able to assist you with. Tactical ones.
Just let me know what you need.
I would rather go back in.
That's what you was saying, Hart. You was saying you think them kids is in there.
They could be.
Marcus, you think them kids is in here too? You with Hart on this?
Did you see any signs of remains at the Garrettson mansion?
No.
The children have to be somewhere. Every one of our initial reports that led us to put the operation together at all, to activate the team, was because all of those trails seem to lead back to the Garrettson mansion. Now, if you search the mansion top to bottom and you found no kids, they have to be somewhere. You could choose to find that tunnel space again and make your decision from there.
I have a wild theory, and I don't know if it's going to pan out or not.
You're probably having a trauma response.
Well, all the kids went near, like they were all taken near the equivalent of a sewer, someplace smaller. And what if this board isn't the only one that gets to this tunnel space? What if the kids were pulled through something similar? That's the only thing I can think of, which is the only reason I would think that they're in that place that I was. If they're nowhere else to be found and they can't fit through most piping, where else would they be?
I don't know. We don't have the time to unfortunately deal with theories. We have to move on this, and there has to be action on it, because in the next 4 or 5 hours, the city will wake up again, which means people will come back to that job site, and that means the police, and it needs to be solved before they get back.
Is there a sole location where these kids have gone missing from?
No. It's been several places. And they're all different ages.
They're all young, under the age of 2.
Yeah.
There's a visible disgust on Reggie's face. Yeah, whatever you guys need, please let me know. I am very happy to help.
Hart, you said it was dark?
Yeah, like pitch black. Until I turned the flashlight on, I couldn't see anything.
Sounds like you're going to need some serious lights.
Yeah.
All right. I'll leave you in Reggie's capable hands.
Hey, Winters,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go back in the night floors.
I know you don't, girl, but hey, think of it this way. Think of it this way, Doctor. This sounds worse than the night floors. Oh, I got to explain myself. I'm sorry, Doc. I forget sometimes you don't come from the same. It sounds worse than the night floors. So we go armed for bear, and we have no problem or compunction or hesitation at ripping whatever we find from head to asshole and tearing it apart. This is worse than night floors, so we go in and we are ready and armed to kill. And there's a gleam in my eye that I don't think any of you have seen because this is old mission Elliot.
This is South American Elliot.
We don't have to worry about innocence and friendlies and all of that business. We go in there and we can go hard and strong every single time. And there's a freedom to that, Doctor. There is a relief to that, Doctor. Believe me.
Is this what some people call a spray and pray situation?
Oh, no. No.
Because you've seen me with a gun before, Winters. And I'm not good.
You know what, Doctor? I've seen you with a gun. You ain't good with a gun. I wouldn't suggest a gun, but you know what else? I've seen you with a baseball bat, and you a slugger. I've seen you take some shit out. I'm going to go in with Hart if Hart's set. I'm with Hart on these kids and saving these kids.
No, I'll go. I don't want to.
You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about Hawken, because Hawken's going to want to come.
Talking. Surviving, going in. Uh-huh.
Hawken's going to want to go. Hawken's not going to stay behind, and Hawken is...
In real bad shape.
Hawken's just hanging on by a thread. And you know he ain't going to sit in the hotel room waiting.
Mm-mm.
Reggie, you sound like you're the man.
I mean, I don't know if I'm the man, but
We need to see your stock.
I'm happy to show you my stock.
Okay, so Marcus just nods to you, Reggie, and says, give them what they need, not what they want. And he sort of pats you on the shoulder, and he takes an exit stage right back out of the convenience store. So you'll have, we'll just say, most standard expense items here. So that is going to include, as far as Delta Green is concerned, as the inventory side, you're going to have most pistols. You're going to have most shotguns available for you. You'll also have body armor and lights and all sorts of stuff that you can outfit the team with. That'll take a little while. While that is going on, I'm going to dip back over to that motel room because I think it's really important that we take a look at Agent Hawking. So probably for you, Brett, the first hour is spent in really just a desperate hope that the pain will subside to the point where you can pass back out. Consciousness is not your friend. It is sort of in one corner of the room in this sort of Mike Tyson gaze, and it continues to punch and bob and weave and smack all these different body parts you have that are just cut up and shredded and hurt. And it's relentless. It kind of reminds you of Charles Barkley in the NBA Finals for your famed Phoenix Suns. It's a relentless bulldog of pain. It's pain you can't get away from. It's pain you wish would go somewhere, but you don't ever seem to have the power to wish it away. It nearly keeps you from noticing that the door handle on the hotel room door has been slowly accelerating from left to right.
So wait, what is rotating? The door handle?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been keeping my eyes on the piece of wood.
Yes, which is sort of stage right. Right? And then sort of stage left is where you see the door changing a little. You can see the handle move.
Like slowly? Like, okay. I have my gun, by the way, this entire time. So that's cool. I'm just gonna rack back the receiver there audibly.
Mm-hmm.
and see what comes through this door.
The door cracks maybe 5 or 6 inches, and you see a male in the diffused light of the hotel room here, Caucasian male, probably mid-30s, thick blonde beard. He's got fatigues on, at least from the upper body that you see. He's got something around his neck.
Who the hell are you?
He steps in, just the first boot. Combat boots, definitely worn, definitely used. You pick that up immediately. Around his neck, he carries a thick python, sort of draped around his neck.
I'm gonna make it clear that I have a weapon.
He seems to acknowledge it.
I'm going to again say, who the fuck are you?
He steps all the way into the room and closes the door. I'm Curzon.
Why do I feel like I recognize the snake?
Yeah, you might. You're not really sure from where. It's sort of fuzzy. You think back a little bit to a seafood restaurant you were at in Norfolk. And you remember standing there waiting to order something, waiting to talk to the owner about an incident that had happened at this seafood restaurant. And you start going around your mind's eye. You've done this hundreds of times before in critical scenes and investigations where there's this thing happening, but your brain starts picking out extra stuff that happened or was present at the time. And you seem to remember in the corner there being a man in military fatigues, and maybe you didn't think about it at the time because, well, it's not like there isn't a military base right next door.
Yeah. What do you want?
That's my question, he says in a whisper.
I want to not be lying in this bed, bleeding. I want to be out there, stopping that fucked up shit.
He takes another step forward. He's probably 2 meters from you at this point. You see the snake slowly curl down his neck and into his hands. He almost creates a sort of a bowl shape with his hands. And you see this super fat python begin coiling in his hands. And he leans down and he lets the python loose on the floor.
I don't know why my reaction is not to shoot this guy. Although the fact that I'm in a hotel room with other people in this building, I don't know why I feel strangely in control of this situation. And I'm letting this happen.
The snake begins to coil there on the floor. And it goes into an exaggerated sort of dance. And it moves back and forth, making patterns on the floor. And you're drawn to it because it's impossible not to be interested in what this snake is doing. You feel yourself drawn in. You feel the moment arrive for you. And in the carpet here, it slowly burns a shape into the carpet. It's a circular shape. It's a circular shape you've seen before, Agent Hawking. It's a circular shape with a symbol and a series of symbols that you found in Abigail Wright's apartment. And you don't know why this snake has burned this into the carpet. And you don't know why this man who called himself Curzon is here in front of you doing this. But you can't look away from this shape. When all is said and done with the snake, it turns and it goes back to this man's hands. And he lifts it up, drapes it around his neck again. Then go, he whispers to you, and in your bottle find the truth. You hear his heavy combat boots step back out, and the door closes with a click. And so, Agent, I am going to allow you to recover 4 hit points. I'm going to raise your unnatural by 3%. And in your mind now, you're sort of recovering from what you're fairly certain is either one of 2 things. Either it's an acid trip or David Lynch just filmed an episode in this room.
Does that give me any willpower?
It does give you 2 points of willpower back.
See, you don't get what you don't ask for. Let's see here. And you said the unnatural is up by 3%.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, that brings me to that's 13.
So I'd love to know, as we sort of dive back towards Reggie's place of business, what are my agents who are there? What are they asking for? When you go candy shopping at the store here, what are you looking for?
Pharmaceuticals. If that is something that Reggie can provide, I would like pharmacy grade, behind the counter, not over the counter medications.
What are we talking specifically?
Most for pain, not for recreational use, but like if one of us gets torn up by raccoons. So probably for pain, maybe like antibiotic. I don't know if someone's heart was going to stop and I wanted to get it back real quick. Maybe some like adrenaline.
Adrenaline? Yeah.
I want some of that good stuff.
Okay.
Things like that. Field medicine kit, just a one-stop shop. I got Band-Aids, so we're good on that. Don't worry, I took care of that, and so that'll be good. But the other stuff would be fun.
I think I can do that. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get those items, but they shouldn't be too difficult. Sure.
Yeah, and I'm confident that I'm twice as good of a pharmacist as I am a medical doctor, so I feel good about that.
I would say for you, Reggie, just the thing to understand here is, unless she's asking for something that would be out of school, like Percocets, laudanum, stuff like that, stuff that would be hard to get a hold of medically, that's probably gonna be a little harder. But when you're talking like Vicodin, when you're talking about
fairly decently easy,
yeah, you'll probably have it what we call on the rack, so to speak.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we've got a lot of the basic stuff here, so that shouldn't be a problem.
And then just like a good bludgeoning tool weapon, if you have, would be good.
I have something underneath the counter up front. It's an old baton from a hurricane lamp I got from my parents years ago. I call it my bitch be good stick. I would be happy to give it over to you.
Are you sure? It sounds like a family heirloom.
I have others.
Okay. I'm putting bitch be good stick on my notes.
Okay, so that's one. What about you, Agent Hart? What are you taking with you?
I want a big old light that like I can mount to like my shoulder or wrap around and have it like mounted to my waist. Something really bright so it just kind of pierces through a place that would be real dark.
Or perhaps like a miner's light that could go around your head and keep your hands free. I have a few of those.
I feel like that's not going to be bright enough. Like I would need a big bright bulb for it. Like something more than a standard headlight.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if not, Reggie, you have the sort of the work lights for cars in the garage here that's been shut down forever. I mean, you could probably figure something out as a quick fix, but you've got a miner's hat, and you're fairly confident that she'll want to be able to strap it to her head to make sure it doesn't come off.
Yeah, I can jerry rig an old hanging lamp to a bit of a power source. That won't be a problem.
And then I want a shotgun. Something big, something that's lethal at close range, and something that if I absolutely have to, I can use a club as.
Yeah, that definitely won't be a problem. We have a few of those.
And I'd like a longer hunting knife if you have one that I can keep strapped to my ankle as a very last resort.
How long are we talking? Like Bowie knife?
Yeah, no, a Bowie knife would be great.
Okay.
It doesn't need a cover on it. I'm just going to put it over the top of my pant leg. I need it to be easier access than having to pull it from a sheath.
You can have a harness that could strap to your leg too, like a thigh strap.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever's in there, I know there's something in there, and I need those kids safe, because if I don't, I need those kids safe.
I agree, and I understand.
Use you, Agent Winters?
Reggie, I owe you an apology, and I hold my hand out. Elliot Winters. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Winters. No apology, nothing.
Yeah, I had no idea that you were actually,
This is the nature of the gig.
It is exactly the nature of the game. And we're all family here now. I need 4 sets of body armor. I need 4 Remington 870s. I need 4 of these Bowie knives, so 3 plus the one you got for Agent Hart. I'm wondering if you can get me 3 Maxibeam searchlights, if possible, or at least some of these these lantern searchlights. I need at least 4 just EDC 100 lumen, clip-ons, Mole clip-ons, because I'm thinking about my friend Brett back at the station too. He's gonna need some of this stuff. I need ammunition for all of this stuff, and I wonder if you can get me maybe a 6-hour P226 or some sort of smaller pistol, 4 of those as well. 40 caliber would be nice, and set all that up as well. I know we did like some solo things and whatever, but we also need to make sure we're all prepared and ready to go in here.
What you're asking for is 4 sets of subterranean tactical gear.
Exactly. I am so glad to work with a professional. Thank you so much, Reggie.
I understand, and I've got you covered. And I will make sure that you guys are well lit.
Well, you're getting paid for this, right? Because I would like 4 or 5 pounds of this.
You like that jerky?
Yeah. And I know my friend Brett would like that jerky, and I know as soon as Dr. Weber and Agent Hart get their teeth in that, they're going to like that jerky. So yeah, we'll call those provisions for long-term provisions. But yeah, if you could throw some, that is some very fine stuff.
I will certainly give you some of that tasty.
Oh, Reggie, you are a gentleman. Thank you so much. You're about the nicest person that Marcus has ever introduced us to. If I look around, he's gone, right?
Yeah, let's not be hasty. I've got my moments. Yeah.
Helpful and polite and is wonderful. I'm very glad to meet you.
It sounds like you guys are doing good work. Important work.
We're trying. I'm going to follow Hart out into hell, and we're going to find them kids, and we're going to bring them back. That's the plan.
Well, you guys keep letting me know what you need. We'll get it done.
This does definitely tap your available resources to outfit them, Reggie, but it does help that Marcus sort of helped, we'll just say, fill up the inventory with stuff that wasn't used anymore. Okay. So that whole process probably takes another hour or so to get all of the equipment ready. You probably have to load it into some sort of traveling box. The shotguns themselves are going to have to be boxed unless you're going to waltz out of a gas station with 4 shotguns. Somehow I doubt that. I expect that Agent Winters will be the king of, keeping the subterfuge going. He won't make any silly movements.
Can we say Reggie shows up with 4 golf bags, and he sets the golf bags down? They got the fuzzy heads on the golf clubs, and yeah.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what will count for the body armor. The body armor won't fit in there. Kevlar won't wrap like that. That trauma plate will keep it from doing that.
Yeah, and every one of those golf clubs is covered with an American Quick Start and Gas cover, like a club cover. Yeah, from like 15 years ago.
That's fantastic. That sounds great. You'll walk out with 4 golf bags of various items therein. So I've put some of that aside. So it's a couple of reloads to the shotgun, a couple of reloads for each pistol. From your mind, Winters, you're way closer to being ready. Weber, you are basically stocked up with available first aid items and drugs, good drugs this time. And now you need to probably get headed back towards the hotel because you got to figure out what the hell's going on with Hawking and see if he's up for joining you or sitting playing babysitter when it comes to that piece of weird wood.
Get in the car.
Reggie, if you see me again, it means that at least some of this nonsense came out all right. And I hope to see you again. And I hold out my hand for the 3rd time.
I'll shake the hand. I hope to see you guys as well. Good luck. Be safe. Please definitely find me if you need anything else.
I'll get back into the car without another word. Start it up.
I'll flip the sign back to open, go back behind the counter, put the jerky back in my mouth, and just hang out.
As if it never even happened.
I'm sure I have no idea what you mean.
Okay, so the group heads back to that series of motel rooms that they had rented there in Red Hook. And I'd like to know from you, Agent Hawking, how do they find you when they come back in?
They find me in the bathroom brushing my teeth, wearing pants but no shirt, so they can get a good look at my quickly healing scars.
Holy shit, I did a great job. Wow. Hi, Hawking. I mean, I knew I did good, but oh my, you're great. You look great.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly go find a shirt and put it on now.
Weber, you're a liar. You said you wasn't that kind of doctor, but look at Brett.
I'm not, but chemistry, physics, ornithology, it's all science. I mean, it's like
Hey, we're good. You're good? What did you grab? What do you got? I see those bags.
Winters was like a kid in a candy shop. He said words. I don't even know most of those words, but he said a lot of them, and then we got a lot of stuff.
And I'll hand Brett one of his golf bags, and in another hand, I'll hand him his body armor. I'll say, we are going in, and we are going in ready for bear.
It smells like beef jerky.
Oh, and Brett, you got to try this jerky. Holy shit. Like this. Oh, and I start going through some of the flavors and showing him. Check this out. Oh, he makes this venison just upstate. It's local. Oh, it's fresh. Well, fresh like jerky. As fresh as jerky is, but oh my goodness. You have got to try this.
What's peach poblano flavor?
Oh, it's got like this sweet and it's just a little tiny bit of spice, but not too much. Oh, it's lovely. Makes me think of Arizona.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bite into the beef jerky while I get my stuff on. I'm still sore.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm definitely going to have a hard time getting this armor on. But the fact that I can even put it on is quite good.
Yeah, it's almost a little unbelievable. But maybe that's a story for another time. So we'll end this episode with a very strange little piece here I want to put in at the end. It's important. I want to thank our guest, of course, Bucho, for playing Reggie Chambers. A backer provided all of the makeup, for the most part, for the background of Reggie. So that backer has had their NPC played. If you're a member of the Patreon and have the ability to use the Hand of Fate, you can help create NPCs for the show, which is a fantastic and fun thing that you get to do. But after that car loaded with agents and all of their golf bags leave, Marcus spins back through your convenience room door. He looks across the counter at you, Reggie, and says, if they don't make it out, if they don't make it good, you're going to have to clean up this mess.
Okay. I understand.
I know you do. We got to protect America. This is the only way.
Let me know what I need to do.
I will. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
He steps back out into the night into that New York City night and just walks into a dead-end street. Pretty common for him. And on that note, I'll call this episode to a close. So again, thank you, Bucho. We appreciate you coming on the show. Nice to have you here.
Super fun. Thank you for having me.
Certainly. And to the rest of our agents, I assume that the next few episodes will be all sorts of fun for you. So to our listeners, thank you again. And good night and good luck.